So real quick before we get into the goods, man, I just want to introduce the podcast show. It's Mr. Al Pete with the MPN Network podcast. Another one for y'all. We are BYKE for the Duval folks. Back for the world. That's how we pronounce back down here. Bike.
We bike.
country, Geechee, all that yes, mixed in. So, but nevertheless, I appreciate everybody tuning in to this, man. We have a great interview coming up right now. We online with a few brothers, so I want everybody to introduce themselves. Whoever goes first, go for it.
My name King Jetta, man. El Hjefe.
Next, my name is Zay. I go by Beats by Lonze, but yeah, Zay.
Yes, sir.
Maguada, also known as Move the Crowd or simply Moves. El Hjefe, just like Jetta say.
Okay. Cool. El Hjefe, man. Bring some. Well, first off, toast to because it seemed like everybody's drinking. Zay, where you got your bottle of water or something? Like we over here.
Yeah, let me go get some water.
We're grown, man. You know what I'm saying? A little
Zay in San Francisco right now.
I know, right?
I got all the water behind me.
He in a different tourist attraction every time we get on here, right? Zay all over the world.
He had the beach on earlier, so yeah. So, but nevertheless, I want to excuse me for my ignorance. I'm not sure exactly when the album came out, or if even the album's out now. But I mean, nevertheless, just want to give a toast to y'all brothers for releasing a great project, man. Switching lanes, definitely enjoyed it, man. So definitely toast and shouts out to you guys. Let's start. How do y'all feel about it? Like, I mean, it's not the first project for sure that I've been snooping around and seeing, but how do y'all feel about this particular project?
Man, I'm always shocked when people show us the love that they show. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be quite frank with you, you know, when people say that they're artists or rappers or whatever the case may be, you automatically not take it seriously. You know what I'm saying? So for you to take the time to listen to it, man, I'm super appreciative of that. And you know, to acknowledge the artistry, man, I appreciate that so much, bro. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's just what was the question again?
No, how do y'all feel about it? Like, how do you feel about the album being released? I mean, you know, it's a process, man. I mean, I'm an artist as well, so I know how the get up is. I know it starts off with, you know, and everybody varies, but I know for me, and I guess I could speak for other people, but starts off as a, you know, you hear a beat, you know what I'm saying? Or you hear somebody else beat and you like, man, let me get the instrumental to it and let me just freestyle to it. You know what I'm saying? Let me play around a little bit. Then next thing you know, some lines come. Next thing you know, you got a concept. Then you know what I'm saying? You 2 or 3 songs in, you like, all right, let's just make this a project. And you know what I'm saying? Especially with y'all work as a group. So I know that it's a lot of communication going on. So y'all probably I'm sure y'all getting inspiration from one person, the next person, you know what I'm saying? Zay sending production and whatnot. Like, and then the project gets together, mix, master. The next thing you know, you got it out to the public. And and a lot of artists mess up when they feel like it stops there, and it does not stop there. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I know that y'all are on this mission to keep things going. That's why I'm asking, like, how y'all feel about it, because, you know, some people might be like, oh, I'm good, but other people like, man, the work don't stop, or, you know, I feel great about it, or I'm ready to jump on the next project. So
yeah, that's a great point you're making, LP. Because yeah, you know, the album, it actually was sort of pre-released, is what I'll call it, on Bandcamp, and that was basically for our most loyal followers to be able to get access to it, you know, raw and uncut, you know, almost for the most part. Like, it hasn't been, we got a few songs, specifically the title song and Last Kings off the Switching Lanes album, released on major platforms. But the album itself hasn't been released on major platforms, on major DSPs yet. And, you know, we definitely working and putting things in motion to get it out there. I know that it's kind of like what Jetta was saying. It's interesting because a lot of artists specifically, whether you're independent or signed, they do music to make money, right? It's their business, right? And yeah, we're a business, but what I will say about this project and a lot of the stuff that we've done prior to this is we did this out of the love for the art. It was something that came from our heart. We wasn't looking to really push it to sell it as a product, at least this is from my perspective. We weren't really looking to sell it as much of a product as we were to say, hey, this is who we are. This is where we come from. We put in, our mind, our heart, and our spirit into this. We're not trying to say, hey, this is what the industry says an album is supposed to look like. These are what songs are supposed to sound like. So let's do that in order to, to get dollars. No, we literally went to the canvas to draw what was in our heart. And like Jed is saying, when people come back and have an appreciation for that, it's so humbling, So I definitely have that same sentiment when it comes to that. But yeah, the album got a long way. We got a lot more work to put in on this album and of course future projects.
Right. Yeah, that's the gas that's gonna push us to the next project, man. Is the feedback that we getting. You know what I'm saying? The feedback has been positive. You know what I'm saying? Like any other person of business, you do want your things to do better continuously. You know what I'm saying? Right. But what? Why are you laughing at me?
No, man? My lady walked in and she ducked down behind me.
Yeah, just wrapping it up, man. Like we want our shit to keep doing better, doing better numbers, but I'm happy with what we did.
I'll say as far as my pleasure with the album is a real genuine album that's really heartfelt music, and you can like really get into it. It got music that you can ride to, music that you can heal to, but it's different than a lot of the music that you hear out on the radio, right? So this album, I more executive produced on this album more than I did produced on this album. I got some joints on the album too, but I executive produced a lot. And I think that on the outside of me not rapping and looking at the album as a dope piece of art, I think that it's gonna be received well to the public once the public catches on to it. And as our fans start to talk more about it and push it out there with the word of mouth, I think that people are it's gonna be one of those slow burns. You might not catch it right now when it's popping, but it's gonna be one of them things that you like, dang, how did I miss this album? And it's gonna put you all over the place. You're gonna have some stuff some music where it's talking about, love. There's some music where it's talking about being in the streets. It's talking about growing from being a boy into being a grown man, being about your business, being a boss. All that's in the album. So I'm very happy about the album. I love the direction of it. I love the sound of it. These gentlemen put their, how when you eat some really good food and you say, man, that whoever cooked that put their foot in it. These fellas put that foot in the album. It ain't for play. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. So.
Right. So let's get into the music, man. Since you were talking about the album or whatnot, how the slow burn. I mean, that's good because usually slow burn albums are like they age very well. You know what I'm saying? I think about that when we say that word. So where are you and Pray for Me? It's like those two songs, those are like very like reflective songs. You know what I'm saying? So mental health wise, like I'm real big on mental health. Like when it comes to me, and I'm gonna kind of insert my artistry in it just to give y'all an example, not to say, oh, I'm an artist too. We're gonna talk because this is all about you guys, but conscious rap, whatever you want to call it, mental health or whatnot. I like that type of music. Was that the direction y'all were going at with those with those particular two songs. You know what I'm saying? Because those were very heavy.
Most
Those were
definitely.
very they were very thought provoking, like very thought out songs. You know.
Most definitely, man. Again, man, shout out to your ears, man. You got good ears, man.
Appreciate it.
So we all come from well, speaking for myself, man, I come from unfortunate, you know what I'm saying, circumstances, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm very blessed to be here. You know, so relatability in my songs, or in those songs in particular, was important, you know what I'm saying, for the direction that we were going. But to me, I feel like even though there is people that like the depressing ass music, you know what I'm saying, relatability is nothing without an uplifting message. You see what I'm saying? So I felt like it was very important to put the uplifting message in there, or to just be depression rap, you know what I'm saying? And that's not what we're trying to do. But like I say, anybody that had to sleep with the roaches and rats, man, I can relate to them, you know what I'm saying? So I want to make sure that that's very clear. And you know, I'm known for the drug metaphors. So, you know, it's very important for me to, you know, kind of reflect on, you know, what made me feel that way, what made me go that direction when I went that direction. You see what I'm saying? So it's a totality, it's a story, you know. But as far as the mental health stuff, man, I've been learning how to meditate, bro. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. I've been learning how to meditate. I'm a warrior.
That's important, man. That's important. Sorry about my dogs. Hold on, my dog's tripping. But yeah, that's important. I feel like that's important. Mental health is very important, especially when it comes to hip hop, especially when it comes to into the community. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to our type of community, I mean, well, our community, uh, being an artist, being a man. You know what I'm saying? Like all three of those things are like very important, man. And I just appreciate music like that. That's very reflective and transparent. You know what I'm saying? And I know I could just tell from the direction that was given in those songs that, you know, it wasn't nothing malicious, man. It was just like straight heartfelt, and people will relate respectfully, you know.
Absolutely. It's dope you were talking about that, LP. Because, you know, I mean, obviously as men, as human beings, the human experience, you know, involves trauma, tragedy, you know, and all those things. And we tend to have, you know, different spats with battle and different types of emotions and things like that. And music has always been an outlet for everybody, you know, not just artists, but for everybody. And so, yeah, it's real important to kind of be reflective and put out a good message as much as you can, because, you know, people need it. On those two songs specifically, I'll start with Where Are You? Because I'll never forget the conversation that, you know, me and my bro King Jetta had. I mean, we was probably on the phone for 2-3 hours just talking about some of, you know, the not to be cliche, but the trials and tribulations that, you know, that we've experienced, you know, in our own upbringing, in our families, and, you know, friendships, fake friendships and relationships and things like that. And that sort of stemmed to, you know, to the song Where Are You, and where it came from. It's like, you know, like we recognize that growth is necessary. Others may not, but that's kind of what our conversation dealt with. And we were talking about that growth in that conversation. And then, you know, sometimes folks don't grow with you, don't, you know, grow at all. And you got to kind of leave them behind, even though you don't want to. That's why you end up asking the question. As I, you know, climb this mountain, I look back to ask, where are you? We started this journey together, and I'm up here, and you claim to be, you know, having my back, and I got yours, and I keep reaching down to bring you up with me, and you dragging me down. You know, is kind of where that song came from. And, you know, to speak on Pray For Me, you know, the brother couldn't be here, but that song started out as his brainchild, and it was different in the sense of, you know, we actually all worked in 3 separate veins. Like, I'll never forget, Hev had put his verse down. Jetta, we all heard the beat pretty much at the same time. And Jetta was going in his direction and Hev was going in his direction. And I heard both of them. And I kind of thought, like, they probably thought we going in 2 different directions. This is going to be 2 different songs, which we've done before, because that was part of, we were like, hey, let's all rap on this beat and come up with, you know, different concepts, and we'll see what comes out. We've done that with plenty of beats. It was just that this was one of the ones that everybody did came together into one song. And so, you know, Jetta, you know, he talked about a struggle that he was going through. Hev talked about a struggle that he was going through, and I talked about a struggle that I was going through. And interestingly enough, like I said, Jetta being the 3rd verse and Hev being the 2nd verse, through conversation, they kind of felt like they were talking about 2 different topics. And, you know, it wasn't intentional that I bridged the gap, but I'll never forget, once I laid my verse down, Jetta was like, man, I feel real comfortable coming in, laying my verse on this song now, because, yeah, it's, you know, we're all talking our own struggles. So, yeah, man, all of those things that you brought up in the beginning is in regards to, you know, us being men, being able to talk about these things, us being artists, being able to bring these issues about. And, you know, those songs specifically, yeah, they're very meaningful. And shout out to, you know, Yana got vocals. She got on there, did the hook for us, did a phenomenal job.
Indeed.
I mean, just think about like how you felt when you bought your first crib and you moved your family in there. You know what I'm saying? If y'all was to fall off, who the hell gonna catch you? You know what I'm saying? That's the nightmare that most men have to wake up to or wake up from. You see what I'm saying? So it's real easy to kind of like pin songs like "Where Are You?" Because where the hell are you when I'm fucked up? You know what I'm saying? So,
man, listen, I don't think a lot of people understand that men be tired too, man. You know what I'm saying? That thing get pushed to the side a lot. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I was feeling with the "Where Are You" joint, because I'm like, it's just plenty of times where I know me and I know y'all can relate that we just, you know what I'm saying, we just hustling and making sure everything's straight. And sometimes all we be wanting wanting people to do is just make sure we straight. And people just don't even do that. You know what I'm saying? So we have to like endure this type of pain that we go through, and we use the outlet of music, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever, you know, working out or whatever the case may be, man. But I think y'all did a great job. Matter of fact, I know y'all did a great job on this one, man. And I just want to salute that type of music, man, because I really rock with that type of that music. It's definitely inspiring. I think more people need to hear it, man, especially coming from Black men. You know what I'm saying? They let people know what the business is.
Absolutely.
I got a different side and perspective of coming into that as well, because think about this. Here's the difference. Not only are we Black men, we also have backgrounds in military service, right? And that military service brings about a different mental health conversation, right? Because mental health controls it all, whether it's emotionally, physically, sexually, everything. Without that mental health piece, everything falls apart, right? The brain, if the brain dies, the body falls right behind it. The body can't function if the brain is not there, right? So without having that mental health piece, you can't self-reflect, you can't be aware of self, you can't figure out how to get to the next step without being right in your mental. So, you know, with military service, we deal with a lot of traumatic issues and emotional issues that a lot of people don't talk about, you know, can't talk about, have been have put in a position where you feel like you can't talk about that kind of stuff. And the same thing in the Black community, you know, a lot of times we feel like as men, we can't talk about it. We can't cry and tell another man that, hey, I'm having issues with this, or my job is not treating me right, or whatever. It's just suck it up and figure it out, right? So I took from those 2 songs, like, okay, now there is an avenue to address it without having a stigma attached to it. It's a cool way to put it out there where people saying, well, dang, if so and so felt like that, then that's a conversation maybe I can have with such and such because they made it cool. And these guys made it cool to explain that everybody has some type of uh, everybody has a issue at some time. So it's good to like just communicate and talk about it. So
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How was it difficult? What is it difficult to play the entertainment world along with the military background that y'all have? Like, is it a juggle? Is it a like, you know, is it a problem, or how does that work?
Well, it's going from one young man game to the next young man game. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important that we approach this correctly. Like, instead of, like I say, rappers, the stigma, right? We entrepreneurs who just happen to be artists. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important that we illustrate it that way. Um, yeah, I don't know. Moves, what you think?
I mean, yeah, absolutely. Because, I mean, that military culture, they have this, there's this requirement for you to have a certain level of morality, and a certain level of, personal conduct, if you will, when it comes to being outside of, that profession. And so some might look at it as, oh, this is, not necessarily what's representative of, the military culture.
Rebels
But
music.
like, yeah, but like Jetta saying, hey, this is like I'm in the entertainment industry, so for instance, you got guys like, R. Lee Ermey or Rob Riggle, who were United States Marines, military servants, and also did movies that were raunchy as hell, that, said all kinds of vile
Nigga.
language and things like that. And
Oh,
everybody looks at it as okay because it's culturally acceptable in different circles. But what we do, because it is specifically, and let's be honest, it's specifically marketed towards one demographic, we'll call what hip hop is, it's Black music that some feel excluded. And with exclusion comes fear and lack of understanding. And so we have to be able to, as professionals and as entrepreneurs, be able to represent ourselves in those rooms when someone comes up and says, hey, this might not be, above reproach. And it's like, well, let me explain it to you. Because it's like Hov once said, do you just listen to music, or do you really listen to music, or do you just skim through it?
Yeah.
You're going to hear on the surface what everybody hears. But there's a deeper message, like you said, brother. And that's why I was so glad you brought it up. Like, it's so much deeper than that. So is it a difficult line? I wouldn't say difficult. It's just, it has to be, we do have to be calculated in making sure we're not just spewing ignorance. We don't have that luxury, because of what we do. We have to be accountable for everything that we say, everything that we do, and be able to represent ourselves, on both fronts. So yeah, that's my take on that.
and I'm a pseudo intellectual. I like to think I'm a pseudo intellectual.
He said a pseudo.
You know what I'm saying? So I got to sit down. I got to sit down with the top Marine, right? This rank, Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps, and kind of had a conversation with him about how he felt about, rappers being in the ranks. You know what I'm saying? Because the fact of the matter is, there are artists in the ranks, and they saying all the words, they doing all the stunts. You know what I'm saying? How does he feel? How does he feel about it? And what I got from that is, I don't know if y'all ever read the 48 Laws of Power, but you never outshine the boss, right? You never outshine the boss. And like, what I got from the conversation is, hey man, do what you do. You're just not bigger than me. You understand? So that's an exclusive. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even told them that. You know what I'm saying? But that's basically where the conversation was headed. You know what I'm saying? And as far as us going into the music industry and stuff like that, you know, I hate to say it, but you kind of it almost sometimes feel like, you know, your uncle that did like a bid and he's trying to find a job. You know what I'm saying? It almost feels like that, like we starting over trying to find connections and, you know what I'm saying, bumping our heads, you know what I'm saying, falling out with people, falling in with people, you know, it's a struggle in itself. So, you know, I approach it like anything else. And I speak for my team too. Only the strong survive.
Mm.
I'll add to the conversation that you know, transitioning to a full-time musician for me was pretty easy, because I've always done music secondary. Marine Corps was first, and then music was secondary. And so when I carried myself as a Marine, I carried myself as a Marine. But then when I did my music, I carried myself as a musician, but to not embarrass the Marine Corps, you know, pretty much. And that's pretty much how I did my thing. I mean, like when me and Al Pete met somewhere in 2007, 2009, 2010, somewhere in there, we met at this place called Poppy Love Smoke.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Poppy Love Smoke was this cigar lounge that did like underground artists would come in and they perform. You can go in there and you can drink, you can smoke or whatever. Dope place, right?
Yep.
But
Wow.
all the underground people went to that spot, and you would meet and mingle and you listen to good music, and you'd be like, damn, there's some real good music in the city, right? But at the same time, like juggling having a full-time daytime job and then coming to do that at night, I just had to keep in mind that, you know, what I had to do in my daytime job, and then how to carry myself at night. Like I said, right now, music for me doing it full time is easy because I've been doing it. I've been doing it the whole time, and now everything is fully at stake. There's no fallback plan. There's no, you know, for me, everything has to work because it's a real loss if it don't work. And I'm not talking monetarily. I'm talking, you know, specifically like the real currency, like your time,
Yes,
time with your family, your time with your wife. You know, we don't have the time to spin the wheels and not get it right. So this is our opportunity to get it right, put it out there, and and put our best foot forward.
Gotcha.
And real quick, I'll say this real fast. One thing that has been difficult going from the military to the entertainment industry is the type of people you deal with. You know, I know during my military career, don't get me wrong, they got bad apples in the military, but in the majority of the people you meet, you can take them at face value. You know what I'm saying? It's a reason for, you know, there being such a small percentage that do that, because it takes a different type of person. Mm-hmm. But, you know, think about all the people, you know, who want to rap or want to be a part of the music. There's a lot of other different types of people in there. So it's hard sifting through those people and then changing your mind to understand, you know what, everybody you interact with doesn't have your best interest at heart. So that definitely is something that you got to learn to navigate. That's different.
You got to take the good with the bad. You got to understand mm-hmm. that we come from the warrior class in the mm-hmm. society. We the gang bangers, mm-hmm. we the Klansmen. You know what I'm saying? We all of that in these 4 branches. I think it's 5 now. You got the Space Force. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So you got all of that now in these branches. We come from the warrior class. So you're gonna have these issues. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have some issues, but you're dealing with some people that's loyal. Mm-hmm. You're dealing with some people that's doggone committed. You know what I'm saying? And things of that nature. So, you know, hey man, I'm in business with the right people.
Right. That's a good point you brought out about, you know, the entertainment world versus the military world. You know what I'm saying? Because just the entertainment world, and specifically hip hop. I mean, it happens everywhere, but in hip hop, man, it's just so like, it's like them people get pulled out of the ground for, you know what I'm saying? But at least when you're dealing with a form of an organization, i.e. military or corporate world, fraternity. Like I just got into a fraternity, so I'm around the different people that got like morals and they still it's still some bad apples in there, but for some reason that type of those type of organizations just breed a different type of person. But the entertainment world is just like cutthroat.
It lacks integrity. It lacks integrity.
A lot of integrity.
Yeah.
It's gone, man. Which brings me to my next question. So, rap what you know. That rap what you know. Let's talk about that, man.
That's moves all day. That's your
yeah, I mean, rap what you know, man. I think it was self-explanatory, man. I think it was a good call-out song. I think it was a great hip-hop song. You got your typical, hip-hop song where you just like, look, I'm gonna let these people know what the business is. But I think these type of songs go a little bit further. It goes a little deeper. Instead of just saying, "Oh, I'm braggadocious, I do this to you," da da da. It really, I felt the spirit off that, man. So, rap what you know.
and it's don't get me wrong, like the weird thing about it is you have people who can come out here as what they are and, like you said, be braggadocious about it. But we come from the era where it's like, okay, I'm gonna tell the story and tell you everything that comes with it. Mm-hmm. Some folks, they tell you half of the story or a part of the story, or they flat out tell you somebody else's story. You know what I mean? And where, like I said, where's the integrity in that? And it doesn't make sense for me to come out and try to be somebody that I'm not, portray something that I'm not, and and profit off of it. I just don't see that as being something that a man should do. And that's where that song came from. Like Zeta said, I came up with the concept for that song, and I think, and I wish he was here, because Hev had such a relatable verse, because his mindset was because of what me and Jetta was talking about, him coming from, the hustler mentality, me coming from, I came from, the culture of set claiming and gangbanging. And Hev was like, I didn't really live that life, so I can't talk about it, that thing. And it was like, bro, that's not what the song is about. It's not about being a drug dealer. It's about being you and talking about your experience and your existence, and he came in and he did that, and it still held weight. Like, it's my favorite verse on the song, and it still held so much weight. So that's what that song is about. It's like, you ain't got, like, if you got bars, if you can rap, but rap what you know. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to tell somebody else's story.
And it's cool to do that. Like that's the thing. I'm like, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? If you was a college student and you got a family and stuff, that's cool. Rap about Home Depot and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that. Like, look at
Donald Glover, look at, the Kendricks and the J. Coles of the world, some of the best will come out there and tell you flat out, like, I'm not from that life that a lot of rappers talk about, but put them on the mic next to me and I'm gonna smoke them.
Yeah, we gonna get to it. We're gonna get busy with it. Yeah.
Yeah, man, authenticity is very important, man. Like who you ain't shit if you ain't never got beat up. You ain't never got. That means your hood was soft. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you ain't never beat, at least you can say you fought back. You know what I'm saying? Or you took the L, like whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just rap what you know. Talk about what you've been through. What makes you you. What gives you the right to call yourself a man? You see what I'm saying? That's how I approached it. You know what I mean? Like, I think it was a dope concept, man. Salute to you for that, man. Like, I appreciate it. That was an alley-oop. That was
to you, bro. Yeah, and it's so crazy because, like I said, you could talk about everything is relatable on some level. Like, I go back to one of my favorite modern day rappers is Kendrick. He was literally on a song talking about how he got burnt. And it no pun intended, it was fire, but we soon forget. I mean, he's not the first to do it. BBD had a song called Poison. A lot of people didn't know that song was about getting burnt. And it's like, you don't have to rap about your experience and tell people this is what comes with being out here having unprotected sex with these skios that look good. You know what I'm saying? Tell the story. Talk about what you've been through, and it's okay. Like a lot, like it goes back to that conversation of, you know, just having too much bravado to say what's real. You gotta portray all this, you know, this rah all the time, and it ain't always about that. You know, like, yeah, somebody testing your manhood, stand up, like Jetta said. Either, you know, either way, you know, whether you take the L or you get the W, you know, stand up. But otherwise, it ain't. It don't do me no good just to be out here saying, "Oh, I'm this." Like my existence and my story is much deeper.
Right, what you know. Right now they're saying the best rappers come from Chicago right now. You know what I'm saying? They doing this magnificent thing called drill. And from what I can see, they just taunting each other, you know what I'm saying? And making the murder rate go up, you know what I'm saying? But they rapping what they know. You understand what I'm saying? Rest in peace. The dude, King Von, had bodies. You know what I'm saying? Not to be talking about another man's business, none of my business. But what I'm trying to get to the point that these kids is rapping what they know. You know what I'm saying? So you know, us as OGs and shit like that, we got to make sure that we doing the right thing. We doing the right things. And when we rap what we know, you know what I'm saying? When we talking about our content has to be accurate. I'll say that. Our content has to be authentic. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not out here. I'm not John Wick. You know what I'm saying? I'm not John Wick. You know what I'm saying? To the little young motherfucker, I'm not John Wick, because he might be John Wick. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna rap what I know though. Don't run up though. You fuck around and get hurt.
Word. Dave, talk about this production, man. Talk about this production, executive producing stuff. I mean, the inspiration of that, man. Like, how did that blossom? Like, I mean, I guess we can go back to the genesis of it all. Like, how did y'all meet? Like, I mean, was it in service or was it online? Like, how did that go? Like, how did that happen?
We all met during doing our military service, and I specifically met Heaven when I was stationed in Jacksonville, North Carolina, and we kept up through the years, and then we recently got back together probably about 2-3 years ago, and he was telling me that he didn't rap no more. And I was like, how? Like, I just couldn't understand how the type of rapper that he was when I worked with him, you know, engineering and recording him, like he could rap till he's 89 years old. Like, why would he stop rapping? Just said he didn't have it no more. He was done with rapping. That's like bullshit. So a couple months passed. He hit me up and was like, hey, I got these verses, listen to it. And I said, well, hey man, I've been getting better on my production, so let me shoot you some stuff. And he said, sent it to him, and he sent me some songs back, and then he told me, hey, he had these brothers that he trusted with his life, that was his family, and that we should chop it up, and we should meet and figure out what we can do, because as a unit, we can peer into the future that as a unit we could do some special stuff. And he introduced me to the fellas, and you know, then we had that in common, that we're all Marines and stuff, so that we just kind of hit it off with that. And then when I heard these dudes get on the song, and I found out that they knew song structure and they can put a song together, it was all over from there. And I just kept trying to feed them as much beats as I could, because at that point I just, everybody have so many different styles. So I was like, hey, I don't know what style you got, so I'm just gonna try to figure it out. I'm just gonna keep making beats until I can figure it out. But with this album, the fellas actually kind of I won't speak for everybody, but I'll say the guys kind of had their ideas of, you know, together, what songs they could do together, and what production they wanted to go toward. And what they did for me prior to that was that they did a mixtape for me where they used all of my beats, and so in this particular grown up production of this album, they had a different lane that they were trying to go to. So in the way that I could put myself in place was to executive produce. So that's where I landed my duties of executive producing and give my input on their creativity. I mean, those guys, they need no direction on how to do stuff because they're pros already. They've done it for as many years as I've been doing it, and just so happen they just rap better than I do. So, um, so yeah, that's how that happened, and I'll let them kind of divulge kind of how they went into the Switching Lanes album.
Either one of y'all, yeah.
Go ahead, Jay.
Go ahead, you got it, man. I'm
All right.
1738.
I got you. So no, like, it's interesting you ask about, the El Jefe origin story, because the key link actually isn't here right now. It's Heaven. He's the one who pretty much introduced all of us to each other. He met Jetta, introduced me to Jetta. He met Zay, introduced me to Zay. Like he's like the one who, sort of had us all. He's like the link that brings us all together, even though now we're all, just as tied to each other and just as connected and have each other's back. He was the one who kind of greased the skids, if you will, to have us come together as a collective. So yeah, in regards, I believe that was pretty much it. Like how do we get together? That was it. I mean, I was running the streets of Okinawa, Japan, out there, and walking them down out there. And it was interesting because I ain't gonna tell their side of the story, but I'll never forget, we was on ship one day, you know how you get on ship, you develop bad habits. I don't even smoke, but we was all down on a smoke pit one day, and Cass just started freestyling. Jetta was down there, Hev was down there, and I was down. I'm like, oh, these boys got bars. Let me show them something. I got bars too. At least I thought I had bars back then, and I started, spitting a little bit. And the rest, as they say, is history.
All right.
So I met Hev in the studio. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I was on his studio time or he was on my studio time. I don't remember. But we kind of bumped heads and shit. Like, like, okay, since you here, let me hear your shit, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, and my guy was dope. He's dope. He's a lyricist. He definitely got my attention because, you know what I mean? Like I said, I pay more attention to what you're saying, you know what I'm saying, and how you deliver it. And he was killing that shit.
Yeah.
And then he heard my shit and like they say, the rest is history, and we all got this friendly competition thing, man. It's healthy. You know what I'm saying? It's very healthy, man. If there's any men out there listening to this, we all fucking compete, dog. Everything ain't hating. You know what I'm saying? It's healthy competition. So, that's what it was, man. And then like we came together.
Still.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then we came together, you know what I'm saying? And it seemed like we was just better. We was better together than you know what I'm saying, opposites. You know what I'm saying? And shit, ran into this nigga and it's been on and popping. You know what I'm saying? And like great minds, man. Great minds, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest thing about, you know what I'm saying, this group that we have. Like, yeah, we do good things, we do epic things, you know what I'm saying, and we make good music and stuff like that. But to be able to, fellowship with these dudes is huge. You know what I'm saying? I need that. Sometimes I'm whining and shit. They tell me shut the fuck up, man. Chill out. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what kings do, right? King, you know what I'm saying? Kings, that's what kings do. That's what kings do, man. Kings, join forces with the kings and we ate all day. I think that's one of my favorite like Rick Ross verses, man. Like when he said, they want to push my top back like JFK. So I JFK joined forces with the Kings and we ate all day. Like,
Ate all day.
you know what I'm
All
saying?
day.
I think that line was so like prolific, man, when it comes to getting around other individuals that do the same work that you do and you know, putting the minds together. And that's what I feel with his album, man. I feel with his album, man. And I think yeah, it's just great, man. I'm gonna have to get this another run. I ain't gonna hold y'all too much longer. I have a funny story. Well, not a funny story, but like Mr. Fix It. Oh my God. Yo, that's
us too, right? I think that's the first time we've been asked about that one on camera, bro.
So, like I said, I listened to the album. Right now, I've listened to it 3 hours, but I listened to it again this morning. And usually when I have my rituals this morning, man, and you know, I get up, you know, have some water or some tea, light smoke, just let the sun hit me. And for some reason that Mr. Fix It came on. I was like, boy, that changed my tempo like a mug. Boy, Yo, talk about that song, man. Whoever get the flow on that one. I would love to
talk to him, King.
How that come about.
I mean, shit. If you ain't never been a side dude, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be able to relate. It's just gonna make you mad.
Boy, you gotta be that good, that good wing guy.
Hey, that's that side nigga Saturday. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, that was a fun song to make, dog. You know what I mean? With respect to all of our relationships, you know what I'm saying? It was a fun song to make, man. You know, just kind of like it was a throwback. It was a throwback to when we was throwing dick. You know what I'm saying? Out there, you know what I'm saying? And doing what we do. I mean, well, I don't want to get on a tangent, but I mean, you know, it's popular to make songs like, you know, Cardi B is the shit right now. You know what I'm saying? Like they doing what they do, you know. So, you know, that's kind of like our answer to that. You know what I'm saying? Like we out here too. You know what I mean? So yeah, side nigga Saturdays.
You know what, Jetta had that song, you know, and he invited me to. It's like he just knew like I was a side nigga or something like that before in a previous life or something, and he sent it to me. You know, he's like, man, my man Mo gave me this beat. Shout out to Mo. That was a Mo beat. Yeah, he sent that beat through. And what it's funny you mentioned that song because like Zeta said, it'll seem like, you know, something that's just popping, but there's a message in that song too, believe it or not. You know, I'll never forget my uncle. He was teaching me about being a man, you know, and he is like, look, you don't never, and it's interesting why Jetta, you know, had said something about, you know, being a side dude, because he told me, he's like, look, man, don't never let no woman call you a cheater. Don't ever let nobody call you a cheater. Don't cheat nothing. He's like, you can be a player, you know, let motherfuckers know what it is. Let them know what you about, and then let them choose. And that's where I attack that song from on that angle. Like, it's like, look, I'm not trying to be the dude who's going at that point in that point in my life. I'm not trying to be that dude who's going to hold and console you. You know, I'm in there jumping off the dresser, trying to put this over on a stretcher. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm here for. That's all I got time for. And outside of that, you know, that's my business, you know. So, but like I said, there still was a message in that song too. You know, again, have some integrity about yourself. It ain't too, I feel like a lot of our young men, they don't learn that lesson. You know, you run around here having somebody thinking it's something when it's not. It's not cool. You know, we be surprised at these young ladies, like you said, Cardi B's pop, who on the same thing we on. You let them know what it is. You know, again, Drake said it. You're not the only one trying to be the only one. And if you get that and you with that, fuck it, let's get it then. You know, like, so is keep it a band. Whatever it is you got going on, have some integrity about yourself, whether you're a player, whether you're a hustler, whether you're a politician, have some integrity about yourself.
Yeah.
Right. You can't trust a nigga that can't get no hoes.
Facts. Facts.
Wow. I love it, man. I love it. But it definitely go ahead.
I was gonna say I thought the song originally was about fixing stuff, and I was
we fixing we is fixing. Yeah. Hey, what Cat Williams say? Some of y'all dudes out there messing with shit, y'all. I ain't had no business messing with. Now I got to drive all the way across town, high as gas is, and fix the problem. You fucking up my evening. I'll take the time because I'm Mr. Fix It.
Working with some different kind of wood. I thought it was carpenter wood.
Well, Zay, what exactly did you think was getting fixed? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm curious to know that. Like,
I'm just being stupid.
Oh, okay. I was about to say something.
I knew exactly what they were talking about, but
I'm glad you said that, Zay, because I was like,
come on now.
I got.
But you say LP, you said it put you in. What you know? What I'm saying, what mindset, what mood did it put you in when you heard that, man?
I mean, I just think about I thought about a lot of my homies that go through that shit, man. I mean, when I've been in that
hey, I will not say any names to incriminate the guilty.
Hey, has some integrity.
Exactly.
Yes,
sir.
That's what that was at. It was just like a woo, okay, all right, yeah. but in all seriousness, man, I think those type of songs, definitely balances the album out, which I feel like y'all have a very great balance. You know what I'm saying, of an album, and definitely is going to stand the test of time and carry on. So. But I just had to mention that Mr. Fix It, man. That was like, okay.
That's one of my favorites. One of my favorite verses. I enjoy doing that verse.
Man, it was placed well. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was placed very well, like in the album, especially with like the way that the bonuses are placed as well. Like the placements of the bonuses was like, you know what I'm saying? It was cool. You know what I'm saying? I just like the arranging of the album, the sequencing of the album. That's what we will call it. But
a lot of people don't think that. Go ahead, Jed, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, and it was more than that. Like Zay can get a lot of credit for it, and I'll give him a lot of credit for it. But that went back and forth between all of us many a time. I mean, we shuffled it around, like there was thought put into that. So I mean, again, you recognizing that, salute, because it wasn't just throw a bunch of music out there. Like, no, it was like it was sequenced intentionally to get a message across. So yeah, just as an artist, you noticing that, man, again, that's humbling, because it definitely was thought put behind that.
Yeah, great job, y'all all did a great job. I'm definitely looking forward to hearing some more stuff from you guys. I'm gonna be playing this album a lot more, man. So let's wrap this thing up. Let me see. I want all y'all to go around and just tell me the purpose. One of the questions I had was, what's the purpose of your music? But like the purpose. I mean, for me, I would say integrity. You know what I'm saying? That's the one word that comes out for me when I think about the album, integrity. But what is y'all definition, purpose of, you know what I'm saying, of what you do, the album? Whichever one y'all want to answer.
Always go first.
You said you always go first, Jetta? So is it on me?
I'll go first. I'll say my interpretation of the album is this, right? Right now, looking at the world today we're living in, right? There's a lot of fakeness in the world, in the music industry. And so what we wanted to do, and what I'd say, if I was to speak for the guys, I'd say what we wanted to do was bring back the realness in the music. We wanted to show other Black men that we can succeed as a unit together, not as individuals, but together as a group of Black men, that we can do it, that we can lead from the front and be examples, like the old people used to do back in the day. And they ain't even that old, like, MLK and Malcolm X. Those guys was trying to set a precedent that even though we had different beliefs and we came from total different backgrounds, we're still the same. We still had some of the same insides. We're still same. We're still a people. So we want to set a standard out there that Black men can do anything we want to do, and we need to stand in the spot right now, because we're like you said earlier, we're the OGs. So the younger people are looking up to us to set an example and how to move. So I think this switching lanes kind of detailed going from a boy to a young man to now a mature OG grown man. And so it shows the trajectory from A to B to Z. And I think that's kind of what we wanted to get people to get from this album. That's my take on it.
Right.
Yeah, that was dope, man. Naturally Marines want to motivate, but my whole thing is, I intend to kind of shed light on controversial subject matter, man. That's my whole thing, man. I want to shed light on controversial shit, but at the same time, I like to see the ladies shake their ass. You know what I'm saying? At the same time. So, but I try to touch a nerve, you know what I'm saying? Spark conversation, spark inspiration. You know what I'm saying? My whole thing is to touch a nerve, man. If I make you dance, I make you dance. You know what I'm saying? If I make you cry, make you cry. You know what I'm saying? But I want to touch them emotions. You know what I'm saying? To let you know I'm right there with you. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole point.
For me, me having Jetta, we basically we were able to sum up the music that we were working on individually into one word, and it all kind of meant the same thing. And correct me if I'm wrong, but Jetta's was Elevation. Song Elevate. If you ain't heard it, go check it out. Phenomenal song. His was Ascension. That's the name of his album. And mine was Progress. And all of those things basically kind of say the same thing. Elevation, ascension, and progress. We're talking about growth. We're talking about wherever you were, you might not be able to get to where you're supposed to be going unless you have those things, i.e. switch lanes. And that's where I saw this album going. It was about all of those things to get to where we're trying to get to. We've been doing one thing, we've been rapping, we've been making music. Now we're going to become a company. Now we're going to build a business. We're going to switch lanes. We're going to grow. We're not just going to do this as a hobby. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that album represented for me personally.
Right. Good stuff. Kings. Definitely love it. All right, man. Let everybody know where they can find you at. First off, before y'all do that, man, I want to greatly appreciate y'all. Definitely enjoy this conversation. Feel free to come back as much as possible. Whatever platforms. We got so many platforms over here, man, that y'all can jump on and just talking music and promote your stuff, man, and try to get it to the people that I surround myself with, and just try to expand this great hip hop that's out here. So anytime y'all got something y'all want to just get off y'all chest, so I don't care if it's a topic or a song or whatever, y'all have the platform all day. Zay know, but I just want to extend it to you, both of you guys. Definitely to have being the fact that he's missing, but feel free to contact. Let me know. We can get on this talking movement and progress. I definitely love everything that y'all talking about. I stand with those principles as well. You know what I'm saying? So just wanted to extend that, but definitely let everybody know where they can find you at, individually, collectively.
Hey man, just check us out. El Hjefe, spelled Hjefe. There's purpose behind that. Listen to the music, you'll find out the purpose on all platforms, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all of that. El Hjefe, check us out. Me individually, you can check me out at Guada _El Hjefe on Instagram, Guada de Anda on Facebook, Move the Crowd on TikTok, all of that. You know what I'm saying? Just again, you get to the El Hjefe page, you'll find us.
Right.
Yep. The gang is on Facebook, Instagram, whatever, right? If you want to get at me individually, it's King Jetta. So it's KXNG _JEDDA. V, right? Also got a King Jetta on Instagram. That's KING_JEDA_ELJEFE. I know it's confusing, but you know what I'm saying? Walk with me.
Oh yeah, so you can find me at Beats by Lonze on all social media platforms. You can just Google it and you can find me. I'm everywhere. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Bandcamp, Band Lab, everywhere.
Gotcha.
Hey, and LP, one more thing, just so y'all know, we ain't out here doing it for play. You can find us on, all the major digital streaming platforms as well. We on Apple Music, we on Spotify, we on Tidal, Amazon, all of that. Like I said, we got Last Kings out there. The title song, Switching Lanes, is out there. And one of my favorite songs from the El Hjefe album, World Is Yours, is out there as well. So go check that out. We got some individual projects out there. So just under our names, King Jetta, you got Pressure out there. We did never mind, I ain't gonna get into that. We did
get into it,
a couple more,
brother. Go for it.
We did a couple more things. We tied up in litigation on some things.
Some videos and stuff, man. We got videos, man. We official. Like a referee with a whistle.
There's real stuff out there. So check us out on those DSPs as well. I know we didn't get to some of the stuff, but we are getting the album together, to get it fully released on those things. So just be on the lookout for that.
Word up. All right, well, hold on, guys. Don't hang up. I'm going to close this out real quick, but we want to thank these guys for coming on, man. Listen, to my people that's listening, y'all know I'm real big on hip hop, like extremely big on hip hop, and I just appreciate them brothers coming in with the integrity and just some great music, man. And so shouts out to them, man. And we're gonna be doing some follow-ups on them, man. I'm gonna jump on them on the YouTubes because I missed that YouTube move. Like you see, I got videos, so I missed that. So I got to go and check those joints out. So, but nevertheless, please follow them at their respective joints. They say the album's coming soon. They got music on Bandcamp as well, and it's on the DSPs, right? Some of it, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But the links and all that will be in the episode notes. So all the links will be there. Please go check them out and go from there. So I will get with y'all on a later note. Mr. LP sign out. MPN Network Podcast. Appreciate y'all.